Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time because I get questions about this quite often, and I think that it is something that needs to be addressed, especially for anybody who is contemplating on selling their art online. And this is a big topic that hopefully will promote a lot of dialogue and discussion in the comment section, because it affects all of us, whether you're new, whether you've been online for a long time. And that is, have I ever had my art stolen, and what do I do if someone lifts my art from the internet to use for purposes that I did not intend? That is a hot topic. It will always be a hot topic because you always have that risk of your art being stolen when you put it online. So I just wanted to go over my thoughts on that, my personal experiences on that, and what I do to prevent that. So first of all, have I ever had my art stolen online? Yes, I have had my art stolen online. Not only have I had it stolen, but I've had it stolen multiple times. I see my art now for sale currently in places that I did not give approval or permission to be sold. Those places are out of the country. I would say 99% of the places that are selling my art is out of the country, in various places. It used to make me very upset, especially when I was struggling, because I wasn't making a whole lot of money. And when I saw someone else that was objectifying my work for their own purposes, for their own financial gain, I was infuriated. It would eat me alive, actually. I mean, it kept me up at night. I would get so angry. I have a lot of artist friends, which I believe that this is something that needs to be done more often, is having a group of artists that band together and sort of watchdog each other's work. If you know that somebody has a personal style and you follow that person's work and you see that work appear somewhere that you're thinking, oh, I didn't know that they were selling their work here, or if something just looks kind of off, call that site out, or at least draw attention to it by getting back with the artists that you follow and let them know, hey, I saw your work here. Are you selling your work at this place? Or did you know that they're using your work for something maybe that you didn't want them to be using it for? And and in return, hopefully that artist will do the same thing for you. I'm lucky in that I have a group of artists, friends, that we do this for each other. If someone sees my work that just doesn't look like it belongs there, they'll send me an email or a screenshot, and they'll say, are you using this at this particular place? And then I will do what I can to try and stop that from happening. But it does happen, and especially if it's out of the country, I have asked people that specialize in law about this, and there's not a whole lot that can be done, unfortunately, because I am a small-time artist, and if I decide to take someone to court, it is going to cost me a great deal of money to do that. And if they're out of the country, it's going to be even more difficult because laws are different everywhere that you go. And so I basically had to just sit down and ask myself, how important is this? How much does this affect my life and my business? And at most of the places that sell my work, it's basically people who are lifting it for very inexpensive items. Pillows, I've seen my work on pillows in other countries. I've seen my work on cell phone cases in other countries. I have also seen my work used for advertisements, for other businesses a few times. And now Google has a reverse photo lookup that sometimes can be very good to use, but other times I just don't want to know. I don't want to know because there's not anything that I can really do really that much about it. I can't watchdog my own artwork all the time, and I don't have that kind of time to do that. So, but there is that. If you are concerned about something like that, you can use that, and you just Google that, and then it will come up. You upload, like, let's say one of your own images that you've put out on the internet, and then it will give a list of all of the places that it has found that particular image. So it is handy if you are curious about where your artwork is being used. That is a good place to go for something like that. But again, use it sparingly, because unless you really want to tackle what you might find, then use it wisely. So anyway, so that's one thing. No, Emmy. My dog is trying to get up on the couch behind me, and I'm going to have to try and... No. Good girl. No. So anyway, so the next thing is, what can you do to prevent this from happening? Well, that's a good question, because the internet is like everything else, there's a lot of really awesome things about it, and there's, things that are not great about it. It's like everything, you have to decide if the pros outweigh the cons. For me, the pros outweigh the cons for me to be online. It allows me to make a living. It allows me to share my artwork with the people that I would never otherwise be able to connect with. I have people that collect my work from all over the world, and I would never be able to do that. Have I just tried to show my work in my hometown? Obviously, no one else would see it. Even if I had decided at an early age to pack up my things and travel to New York and become a full-time artist, like that was my aspiration, my dream to do, would that have been feasible for me? I probably would never. Well, first of all, I probably wouldn't have had the guts to do that, because that takes a certain kind of person to be able to just give up everything and move to New York and follow your dream of becoming an artist. Generally, people like that want to be successful in galleries anyway, from my experience. And that was never really something that I felt drawn to. So you have to decide what it is that you want to achieve. What is your definition of success? If you want to be known worldwide, but you don't have the kind of money to get an agent, or you don't have that kind of a drive to have your artwork put in galleries, if you have no intention on wanting a gallery to take 50% of your income, then, online would be for you. That is how I felt about it, and that's why I started to sell online, and I don't regret it, even though there are people who are taking my artwork and using it for their own purposes. The amount of money that they're making in reality on my work is not enough for me to throw a fit over. And I'm sure there's more that I am unaware of, which is probably good that I'm unaware of it. But I find that, I try to find the best in people first. So I always make the assumption that a lot of people don't know that they can't use your work. Some people think that when they see something online that it's free for personal use. A lot of people, they don't understand that it took someone to create that piece of work, and that piece of work belongs to somebody, and uh, you can't just put it on your computer and then create cards from it and then sell it as your own. You would think that people would understand that, but there are a lot of people that really don't. And I have contacted people before who have taken my artwork and have decided that they were going to use it for Christmas cards and then distribute Christmas cards. You know, I try to be as nice as possible, and all you can do is really just say, you know, this work is copyright protected, and if you would like a print, then please visit my Etsy shop or my website, and I would be happy to get you a print. Now, what people do when they purchase your work, they're going to do anyway. So unless you don't want to sell your work, unless you don't want it in the hands of anyone, but today there are so many different types of applications that allow people to capture images and manipulate them. If you sell your prints to someone in person, they could still find a way to duplicate that and profit from it. So the only way you're going to get around the possibility of not having your art lifted and used for purposes that you don't want them used for is to not sell. That's really kind of what it comes down to. So this is what I do to make it at least a little bit more difficult for somebody to not lift my work. And number one is when I upload my work to the internet, whether it be on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, my website, I upload a small image. I upload as small of an image as I can without it distorting the image. So if somebody did take that and download it to their computer and they wanted to manipulate it and use it on something else, they wouldn't be able to blow it up and use a quality image. It would be pixelized, it would be distorted, it would be blurry. So it wouldn't be worth their while. They could still do it, sure, but they wouldn't get a quality image out of it. And then they would have to deal with the headache of customers saying, well, this looks like crap, so I want my money back. So that's one way. The second way is, anything that you can do. I put a watermark on mine. I do this through PicMonkey. You can do it through any piece of software that has the ability for you to add text over top of your images. So I add Ellen Brenneman Studio over top of my image. A lot of people have it really large. They put it right in the center of their image. They will put it so it's in black, like really strong colors like black or red. I don't do that personally because I feel like that it takes away from the image. It's a distraction for me to see on my own images. So I make my name smaller, and then I will fade out that text so it almost looks transparent, but you can still see that it's there. I do this so that people will, if people see a piece of artwork of mine, and because it's something that's been shared on Facebook or elsewhere on the internet, that they know how to find me. They know who it was that created it. Because a lot of people will share something, but they won't give credit to the artist. Well, I won't have to worry about that. I can eliminate that by doing it myself. That way, if they share it, then all someone has to do is look on the image itself, and they'll see, oh, that says Ellen Brenneman Studio there. I'll Google that and see who that is. So that's one way that I do it. And again, I do it just so that it's not distracting. And yes, someone can Photoshop your name out of there, no problem. But anything that you can do that makes it just that little bit more difficult, I highly recommend to do. Do what you can. That way you never have to worry, oh, well, if I could have done this or I could have done more. You do what you can. So that's the second way that I do it. Now, images on Facebook, they will give you guidelines as to what the minimum requirements are for uploading an image. Pinterest has one, I want to say 600 by 600 pixels. Don't quote me on that. But if you go, they'll let you know generally what size of an image they need. And then just don't upload any larger than that. Upload the minimum requirements for a specific place. And if you can get away with uploading a smaller image without it making your image look terrible, then obviously do that. Some places, some websites will have apps that you can download which will not allow a right click. And what that means is if you right click on the image, then it gives you the option to save image as. A lot of these, there are a lot of websites that will actually give you free apps if you have your own website. I use Wix on my website, and there is an app that I am able to download that will automatically do that for all of my work on my homepage. So if someone wants to save that piece of artwork that they see on my homepage and they right click, then a little text comes up saying that it's copyrighted. It won't let them right click. So that's another way to be able to do it. So there you go. I hope that has been somewhat helpful. I hope this doesn't discourage you for pursuing your dream of being an artist. There are a lot of people who really don't. That's the only thing that's stopping them from pursuing their dream, is that they're afraid that their work is going to get stolen. But the fact of the matter is that you can't watch everything all the time. And again, if you sell your work in person at an art fair, if you sell your work anywhere, if you sell an original painting, anywhere that you sell your work, which is the goal of being an artist, is to make a living, I hope, and to be able to support yourself. So you have to sell your work. And wherever you sell it, whomever you sell it to, all we can do is hope that that person will respect the fact that that work is copyrighted. But you can't be everywhere all the time. You can't watch where your art is all the time. And if you're that concerned about it, again, use that Google, I wish I could remember what it was called, Google reverse image lookup, I think. And then you can just use any photo that you want, and then it will show you where else it's being located on the internet. So that would be my recommendation. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you liked it, could you give it a thumbs up? That helps other people find my content. Consider subscribing. And if you've had any issues with people that have been lifting your work or selling your work without your knowledge, or if you have any other questions that I didn't answer here, please provide your questions in the comments below, because I really like the community that's developing on this channel. You guys are really helpful. You put a lot of really great information out that I forget to share or that I don't know about. So I really appreciate you doing that. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.